Hello everyone, hope you're okay and had a lovely weekend. Welcome back to Reach Assembly. And can you believe it's the last 2 weeks of the year? Wow, that's gone so quickly, and I just wanted to say how very impressed I am with everybody for all the hard work they've put in this year. It hasn't been easy, as you know. We've had a lockdown, we've had building changes and buses, and I just want to say how proud I am of all of you for showing that resilience and for being amazing St Andrews Reach learners. Let's see if we can just keep it up now for the last 2 weeks. Remember those values, remember that respect for people, remember to keep being ambitious, and remember those nurture principles as well. So if you are finding things tricky, use the language, use the words to explain to your teacher why, use the barometer, and communicate really well. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing you all now over the last 2 weeks and finding out all the things that you're going to get up to in your classes. Let's start with phrase of the week. There it is, that's what it looks like. And let's listen carefully.
This week's phrase of the week is Longevach Iadai. This means congratulations.
Thank you, ladies. Let's just have one more listen.
This week's phrase of the week is Longevach Iadai. This means congratulations.
Brilliant. Okay, let's move on to our next slide. And just a reminder, as we do every week, we've covered all aspects of Reach, and this half term is about H for happy and healthy. I hope you all had a lovely, healthy living week last week and did lots of learning around being healthy. And I know we talked a lot about exercise, and I've checked in quite a few times with some of our school counsellors who are telling me that there's been a massive increase of water bottles this last week. So well done for that. Keep that up now for the last 2 weeks. It is warm and you will need to keep your hydration levels up, okay? So keep doing that for me. That's amazing. I'm so proud. Thank you. So we talked a little bit about what is happiness and how being healthy can make us happy. This week, I just want to revisit something that we have talked about, and those 5 ways to well-being, okay? Happiness and healthiness, healthy minds and healthy bodies. So we have thought about happiness quite a bit, and let's have a little look now at those 5 ways to well-being. There they are. Okay, so we'll have a look at each one of them in a moment. So connect, keep learning, which I know we're doing lots and lots of and talked a lot about within our Reach Assembly values, and be active, something we're really thinking about this half term. Give, we've talked about acts of kindness, and taking notice. Let's just have a little look at each of one of those, just to what that means for us. So being active, of course, is making sure that we're being physical, because by being physical, that can help our mental well-being as well, and it can make us feel better about ourselves, giving us good self-esteem and a sense of achievement. So the exercise can be anything you like. It can be walking, hula hooping, dancing, football, anything that you'd like to do. And what that does is it releases chemicals in our brains that put us in a good mood. So it's really important for our mental well-being for us to keep active and carry out physical activities. Remember, we talked about making it part and parcel of your everyday. Okay, taking notice. We talked about this quite a while ago now, but also this is part of the mindfulness that we've talked about, where you get rid of all those bubbles in your head by concentrating and focusing on one thing, or taking deep breaths and shutting your eyes and just trying to feel calm and peaceful. Try and notice the thoughts and empty your head of your thoughts, but listen to the sounds around you. Keep learning is something that we've talked about lots and lots, and we've talked about ways of learning, we've talked about the pit, and we've talked about managing distractions, we've talked about all sorts. And again, that's really good for our well-being, because when we learn a new skill, again, it'll boost our confidence and our self-esteem. We talked about that in C for confidence. So keep that learning going, okay? And keep that brain thinking more than anything else. This is something that I know Year 3 have looked at a lot this year, and we've talked about in our assembly. So giving. Now, acts of kindness can be many, many, many different things, and sometimes it can be just as simple as giving somebody your time. Giving them your time. Time to sit and listen to somebody and chat to somebody can be just as important as giving them a gift, okay? And that can also, by giving something or some sort of time, that can also have a positive impact on your own well-being, because it gives you positive feelings and a sense of reward, okay? So it gives you a bit of purpose and self-worth. Again, this is all about our self-esteem, which helps us with our well-being generally day to day. So the last one we're going to have a quick look at is about connection, because we haven't done an awful lot around connection. And good relationships are really, really important for our well-being. By good relationships, I mean positive relationships, okay? Connecting with others, we do that when we're eating lunch together. We might be doing that if we're chatting on the playground or playing some sort of game with each other. And it does create what's called a good connection with others, which does make you feel really good, okay? And that can be adults, it can be other children, it could be anybody. But we're going to focus on this, and we're going to focus on this in terms of friendship today, okay? So let's just have a little recap of this video of 5 ways to well-being, just to sort of put everything I've just talked to you about in a little bit of a visual context, so you can perhaps understand it a little better.
Sometimes life can feel challenging, empty, or stressful. We have so much going on in our heads, it's easy to feel disconnected. 5 ways to well-being are simple things we can all do to help us enjoy life and be kinder to ourselves. Just taking a little time out for yourself and taking notice of the simple things can make a huge difference, helping you feel more relaxed. Connecting with others can be daunting at first, but it's worth it when you meet a friend. Learning something new can help build your confidence and get you involved in something you've always wanted to try. Even small acts of generosity can activate the reward centre of the brain, which reduces our stress levels and even helps us live longer. Simply moving your body around has so many benefits. When you're active, your body releases chemicals in your brain which make you happy. They also help you concentrate, feel and look better, and sleep better, which is pretty great.
We just touched on sleep there as well, which is something we haven't had a chance to speak about, the importance of sleep. So all these things that you do to help your well-being can also help you sleep better as well, and sleep is really important to help your brain to just restore itself a little bit and refresh itself ready for your next day. So we're going to focus a little bit on friendships now. We're coming to the end of the year, and lots of you've made some lovely friendships within your classrooms. You've spent an awful lot of time together, and some of those friendships maybe have got a little bit, just a bit challenged because you've spent so much time together. But just remember to value your friends. They're important, and it's always good to have lots and lots of different friends in your life and around you, okay? So we're going to take a little bit of time to think about and reflect on what makes us a good friend. So what makes your friend a good friend, and what makes you a good friend to others? So I want you to just pause now and maybe have a talk amongst your class about what makes a good friend. I know that some of you covered this earlier in the year, so this is a bit of a reflection and a recap on what you've thought about before. So on the screen, you'll see all the different values that I've thought about, but perhaps you've thought about much, much more that make a good friends and make friendships work. You've got kindness is probably one of the first things. Honesty, listening to other people, showing loyalty, so showing that you are there for people all the time whenever they need you, and that, for example, if somebody else wasn't being very positive, that you would step in and use positive language about friends. Forgiving people's really important, trusting them, showing them encouragement, letting them know that they can do it when they're feeling maybe a little bit like they can't. Respect, of course, and having some patience, and first and foremost, before anything else, making sure that you're having fun with your friends, making that a positive experience. How many of those did you have, and how many more did you have, I wonder? Okay, time for a bit of a reflection. So just reflect now. Is there a way that maybe you could be a better friend? Just think about those values that we've talked about today. Think about the ones I've shown you. Is there anything maybe you think you could do to be a better friend? I know that my reflection on that with my friends is that I don't keep in contact enough with them, and I really need to make an effort to perhaps give them a phone call or pop round for a garden visit, because I'm not connecting with them as much as I should be. So that's definitely my reflection. I wonder what yours is. Okay, let's say our prayer together. Diolch I ti am ei byd, diolch am ein ffrindiau, I gyd. Amen. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure again, St Andrews. Hopefully I will be back again next week for the very last Reach Assembly of the year. And myself and some pupils at some point, probably school council, will be reviewing Reach and having a look at what it's going to look like next year and see if there's any changes that we need to make. So it might be worth mentioning any changes that you find might be useful, or any thoughts or ideas that you have, mentioning them to the school council member in your class. Okay, St Andrews, I'm going to leave you with our happy song, and I will catch you this week. Ta bo chi.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. The love is too high, it bring me down, can't nothing bring me down. I said, cause I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Cause I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Hey, hey, hey. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you